How's it going, guys? So I decided to start my top favorite albums videos. I previously stated that I was considering doing this, and so I'm finally getting around to it. Well, not finally, it didn't take too long. Um, so, a couple things. There's a total of 25 specific records that I picked out that are probably my favorite albums of all time. Um, all 25 albums. It's there's no duplicates. I mean, and duplicates I mean like there's none. Like there's no two albums by the same band. Now that was very, very hard to do. Uh, I tried. It was just so tempting to not be able to do that. But so if it came to where I was like stuck between two albums by one band, I had to I it was really a pain in the dick for me to pick which one, you know, I wanted to I preferred over the other. So that was difficult. Um Going to be showing 5 albums per video. All of these 25 albums that I'm going to be showing, I own all of them on CD. I'm just going to go ahead and show them on their CD format, and then, just spend a few minutes talking about each album. Um, but expect to see a lot of variety, a lot of honorable mentions. Stuff that other albums that I'll mention along the way. Um, there's probably only, well, I don't know. We'll just work it out as we go. But all right, it's already a couple minutes in, so I think I've said everything I needed to say. So let's get started. So, number 25. I have already expressed how much I love this album previously. So, without further ado, this is Van Halen's self-titled debut album. Definitely one of my favorite records. It's so good. I mean, there's nothing bad that anybody can say about this album. It's perfect, you know. Of course, mine's a remaster. It's not, it's not like it's an original or anything. But yeah, I mean, I fucking love this album. Um, I just remember the first time I heard it, I was just fucking blown away. I mean, and everybody knows how influential, this first album was. Let's see here. It's actually kind of a good thing that I'm just showing CDs too, because a lot of these CDs that you're gonna see throughout this whole series, I didn't really show too much of them in my CD collection video, so it'll be a little different. But anyways, there's the booklet. It's just this one little page or whatever. I'm sorry if the glare is blocking anything. There's honestly nothing I can do about it. But yeah, so no lyrics, just credits, pictures, and track listing. So yeah, I mean, if you've seen my vinyl collection video, then you know I already own this. I own this on vinyl as well. I do. Would be kind of nice to get it on cassette too, but yeah. Now, I did this in my vinyl collection video, but if for some reason you have not seen the video where I talked about this album, if you haven't heard this album, it's got the classic tracks, their cover of You Really Got Me, Eddie Van Halen's little guitar thing, Eruption, Running with the Devil is one of their more popular songs. You got Ain't Talking About Love is probably, in my opinion, the best song on the album. It's also my favorite just all-time favorite Van Halen song. And then you got like Jamie's Crying, Feel Your Love Tonight, Atomic Punk. I mean, it's such a great fucking album. Like, honestly, if you have not heard this album, you really need to go fucking check it out. I mean, like I previously stated, I don't know in terms of the variety of metalheads or rockers that are watching my videos, but if you just, I don't care what you listen to, if you haven't heard this album, you need to. But anyways, Van Halen's self-titled debut. If you have not heard it, check it out. This lands at number 25 on my list. All right, now these next couple albums have been in my one of my, well, no, it's not a recent video, but I have talked about them a little bit, but not in depth. I didn't go really too in depth. It's just a coincidence that they ended up next to each other in the order of how I ordered my albums. So, yeah. Anyways, this is Exciter with Heavy Metal Maniac. Definitely just a fucking great, just speed metal shit right here. I hate that glare so much. It's like the vein of my existence. But yeah, I mean, this is just such a great, great fucking album. I haven't been listening to Exciter for that long, but as soon as I fucking heard this album, I was just hooked. Like goddamn, you know. This is it's a reissue that came out in 2005 on it says Megaforce Records, but that's what it says on here. This one's also got bonus tracks. It's got a few interviews. Two bonus tracks called World War III and Evil Sinner, along with those interviews I was talking about. I mean, it's pretty cool. The interviews are very interesting. You know, there's not like, when I see a lot of reissues and stuff like that, you don't really see bands doing that on reissues, like putting interviews and stuff as like bonus tracks, which I think that's very interesting. I don't see too many bands that do that. Now, I know I showed this in my because this CD was in my first CD collection update video. So if you've seen that, then you've already seen this. You already know that I have this on CD. But I'll just go ahead and show it anyways. The inside. You can see Lemmy there, and a couple of the dudes from Metallica are in that other picture. So that's pretty cool. No lyrics or anything, it's just like pretty much, you know, stuff about the album and whatnot. And there's that. Yeah, it's just such a good fucking, overall, just such a fucking good heavy metal album. Nothing bad. I mean, these albums coming up, there's nothing bad I can say about any of them, you know, because they're all just so fucking good in my opinion. But if for some reason you have not heard this album, some of the best tracks in my opinion on the album are Stand Up and Fight, the title track, Heavy Metal Maniac, Mistress of Evil, and Cry of the Banshee's a really good one too. I mean, yeah, just go YouTube this fucking album if you have not heard it. It's a very, very good heavy metal record. Classified as speed metal, so, but whatever. But anyways, this is Exciter with Heavy Metal Maniac, and this lands at number 24 on my list. Alrighty. Here is number 23. This is Carcass with Heartwork. This was also in my first CD update video. Very, very, very good album. My all-time favorite Carcass album. I mean, I know some people say that, like, Symphonies of Sickness is their best album. Others say that Necroticism is their best album. I think this is their best album, in my opinion. but it's an opinionated statement, so I'm entitled to it. But anyways, this is definitely my favorite Carcass album. Just so fucking good. Like I have previously stated, you know, pretty much, you know, technical melodic death metal, basically what it is. Not much. There wasn't much grindcore influence in this album when it came out. A lot of it was pretty much gone by the time Heartwork, you know. But yeah, here's the booklet. Of course, you got lyrics and stuff. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else. Oh. Back page is a little. That's pretty cool. Not sure if this is an original CD pressing or not. I didn't really talk about it too much in my CD update video. It says Earache, Columbia, 1994. But I know the album came out in 93. So, I don't know. I don't think, it might not be an original Earache pressing. I don't know. I'd have to check Discogs. But, yeah. Anyways, very good fucking album. If you have not heard it, you definitely need to fucking check it out. Some tracks I will recommend if you haven't heard it. Buried Dreams, the title track, Buried Dreams, the title track, Heartwork, No Love Lost, Death Certificate is really good. But yeah, just go check out a few of those songs I recommended if you haven't heard this album. It's a very good album. Very influential, that's for sure, on the upcoming, like, you know, as far as, like, what came out of, like, you know, Europe and stuff in the 90s at the time. But anyways, this is Carcass with Heartwork, and this lands at number 23 on my list. Check it out. Alrighty. This is number 22. This is Creator with Enemy of God. If you've seen my CD collection video, then you will already know that this is my favorite Creator album. I believe this was the first Creator album I ever heard, and I was just blown away. It was just so fucking good. Now, I do love their early stuff, but there was just something about this album, you know, that I really fucking loved. I'm sure some people will disagree with me. Oh, well, you know, Pleasure to Kill, Endless Pain, you know, it's like, but I'm not saying those albums are bad. I'm just saying that I prefer this album. Yeah, there's the inside there. Just such a good fucking album. Like, I loved it. Let's see, pull out the booklet here. Yeah, you know, lyrics, typical stuff that's in the booklet. Little picture right there in the booklet. Go ahead and show the pictures, might as well. But I mean, if you have not heard this album, you need to fucking check this shit out, because it's such a good record. And I know I'm not alone when I say this, there are not a lot of thrash bands from the 80s that are still making good albums. You know, above par, you know, albums. I mean, now this album came out in 2005, so it's already been over, you know, 10 years since it was released. But it doesn't change the fact that it's still kind of considered a modern thrash album. But yeah, it's such a good fucking album. If you haven't heard it, you need to. If you haven't heard it, some tracks I'll recommend. The title track, Impossible Brutality, Suicide Terrorist, let's see, Under a Total Blackened Sky. Just those a few songs there. Yeah, just fucking check it out, please. This is such a good fucking, you know. There's a lot of melodic stuff too on this album, which I do like, you know. But yeah, this is Creator with Enemy of God, and this lands at number 22. Check it out. Alright, time for the last album in the video. Like I said, there's only going to be 5 per video, so there's 25 total, so it's going to be a 5-part series. Alright, number 21. This is Iron Maiden's self-titled debut. Now, an honorable mention will be Killers. I was floating between Killers and this album, but I ultimately decided on this one. It's just something about this record, you know, the debut is just so fucking good, you know. Just the inside there. Disc is kind of upside down, but yeah, I fucking love Iron Maiden. Been a fan for like at least 8 years now. Some cool pictures inside here. I'll show you. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on this decision. Now, I know I'll probably hear, oh, well, why was it so low in your list? It's like, well, it was already hard enough for me to choose which albums to include in the top 25. You know, it was 20 times harder to decide what albums would go and would I put in order. You know, that was already hard enough. I mean, oh boy. So it's just one of those days. But I mean, yeah, such a good fucking album. If you have not heard it for some reason, then I don't know what the fuck, you know. Like, really. I believe this is also the only album to feature Dennis Stratton on guitar. I hope I'm right. If I'm not, you can correct me. Because I know Adrian Smith didn't play on this album. He came in on Killers. So, yeah. I prefer the first 2 Maiden albums overall. But I love pretty much all Iron Maiden, you know. Show that last page there of the booklet, because I gotta wrap this video up. But yeah. Now, I really hope everybody watching this video has heard this album. I know I say that a lot about a lot of albums that I show in my videos, but this album, you have to have heard this album, you know. It's such an iconic, you know, no-album record. There's just no way. But if you haven't heard it, some tracks I will recommend. It's hard for me to recommend a song from this album because every single song is good. But I would say probably the best songs on the album, Running Free is a classic, Prowler, Sanctuary, the title track, you know, Iron Maiden, Charlotte the Harlot. I mean, just fucking, just give the whole album a listen. You really need, like, if you're a metalhead and you have not heard this album, that's pretty bad. I can say that about a lot of albums, but this one, you have to have heard it. There's no way. But yeah. But anyways, this is Iron Maiden with the self-titled debut album, and it lands at number 21 on my list. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. The next video you'll see 20 through 16, I think. It's kind of sad that I had to fucking count that shit out, but I just had to be sure. But yeah, so next video you'll see 20 through 16. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and stay metal.